Hi guys, welcome to the Citizen channel. I hope you're all staying safe and well. Please, if you are new to this channel, please push that subscribe button. We do everything City, past and present here on these little vlogs, so I do try and inform and entertain, and there's some links on screen as well for Facebook and Twitter where I do post loads of City stuff. So if you follow a friend me on there, I do check every few days and follow and friend everyone back. And if you do get a chance, please have a check out my film and TV channel as well, which I try and inform and entertain on there, and all the latest films and TV drama here in the UK and from around the world. So if you can check that out, that will be fantastic. Anyway, hope you enjoy today's feature. Welcome to Match Report, and we're just going to chat about a little game that took place at Anfield. A fantastic game that, wasn't it? Could have been slightly better, but I don't think at the end of the day how it went we can complain too much, can we? Liverpool versus Manchester City. Liverpool 2, Manchester City 2, 4:30 p.m. kickoff on the 3rd of October 21. Yeah, so we'll have a look back at that game. And we'll start, of course, with the lineups. Yes, I think most City fans, there was odd exceptions, but most of us got that 11 right. Ederson, Walker, Diaz, Laporte, Cancelo, Rodri, Bernardo, KDB, Foden, Grealish and Jesus. Yeah, so I think we're pretty much spot on. The only thing that was interesting to me was how this would play out against Liverpool, because Chelsea, this is the team that played Chelsea, of course, a totally different proposition. It'd be interesting to see what tactics Pep employed to sort of cope with Liverpool, wouldn't it, as this game went on? Fortunately, not too bad as it turned out. Sub Stefan Carson, 2 goalkeepers, league match, not too sure. Stones, Aki, Sterling, Torres, Werner, Mahrez and Palmer. Liverpool, well, I almost got a full house with Liverpool. I nearly got 2 teams spot on. I only got 10 out of 11 with Liverpool. My apologies, guys. I've let you all down. I let myself down. Let me tell you. No, we'll carry on regardless. Alisson, Milner, Matip, Van Dijk, Robertson, Jones, Fabinho, Henderson, Salah, Mane and Jota. Yeah, I thought Firmino might get the nod, but it was between them two. So I was very close. I was very close to a full house. Of course, in charge, we had Mr. Paul Tierney. Yes, well, he did very well so far, didn't he? And then he sort of fell apart, unfortunately, and did a bottle job. But there you go. On VAR, not really needed, was he today? Yeah, Mr. Stuart Atwell. On to the match report. Let's zoom through the little talking points, bullet points, if you like. It was a sort of non-manic start to the game from both teams, really. I mean, obviously, you don't expect City to start manic, but you certainly expect Liverpool to start manic. But it was like trading jabs, wasn't it? It was a heavyweight contest where you're just sort of trying to suss each other out. And unfortunately, by the end of that first half, it would be City that were going at half-time wondering why perhaps it was still 0-0. But because let's be honest, we sort of, apart from that first 5 or 10 minutes, we probably dominated Liverpool, and we should have done a little bit better, shouldn't we? I mean, the greatest assist in world history, I think, was foiled and thwarted as Foden couldn't quite beat Alisson after a Bernardo. He jinked and shimmied. He did he should be on there. That was it. Come Dancing, Strictly Dancing, whatever it's called. Anyway, it should be absolutely amazing little thing. It would have been the greatest assist in history if Foden had just been a bit calmer and scored the goal. But yeah, say no reward for Bernardo there, but there you go. Foden also had another 2 or 3 good chances, good one-on-ones, and this is probably where we fell down in that first half. If he'd been Salah or perhaps even Mane, perhaps we would have gone in 2 or 3 goals up at half-time. But hey, a goal changes everything. If we'd gone 1-0 ahead, you never know. Liverpool might have woke up, but yeah, unfortunately, we did lack the striker's instinct. I know we always say it, but true, in these tight games, you need those goals to go in, those chances to go in. And he wasn't alone, of course, from a great Foden cross. KDB, who had, again, a bit of an in-and-out game, started quite poorly, over-hitting passes, etc. He headed over what could have been a sort of 5-1 United at Main Road header into the top corner, couldn't it? A diving header, but I think it's sort of worried Rose Z of the Anfield Road and the Liverpool part of it, unfortunately. So please, Kevin, just get them on target, mate. I know it's a diving header, it's not the easiest thing to do, but, you know, just perhaps I'm asking too much. But we're talking KDB here. We're talking world class, aren't we? I expect a little bit more. Yeah, the City defence hardly tested. Was so dominant. Say even certainly up to about 15 minutes, so we had a little bit to do, but not too much. Ederson was knocking the ball long for fun and finding players, etc. Grealish, though, looked a little bit overwhelmed, to be honest. But the problem was going at half-time 0-0, surely. And I sort of WhatsApped my lad and said, Liverpool aren't going to be that bad in the second half. And of course, once you saw a sprinting Klopp to get to the dressing room at half-time, you knew we weren't going to see the same Liverpool second half. So there we go, 0-0 at half-time. If you look at chances and what happened, it perhaps wouldn't have been unreasonable to think of a 2-0 lead to City at half-time, would it? But hey, it wasn't. It was 0-0. On to the second half, and we knew Liverpool couldn't, as I said, be as bad, were they? And but I thought City lacked a little bit of pace for that first 10 minutes. Looked a little bit happy just to sort of play along at a little bit of pace, and you just knew Liverpool had that little bit of extra strength and spirit in the second half after Klopp had given them a good rollicking in the changing room. But we seemed to allow them too much room, unfortunately. And of course, it had to end in disaster, didn't it? It was, again, Salah was instrumental to Mane, but Mane found him in a position that perhaps Foden had found himself in 2 or 3 times in that first half. But the difference is, Mane's a striker. He put it in the goal, and that was it, 1-0 to Liverpool after 59 minutes. And uninspiring then, Grealish was hooked off, let's be honest about it, but he brought on an uninspiring Sterling. So was it really any point in making that change, Pep? Perhaps only you know. I mean, Sterling did have a couple of chances, but unfortunately didn't sort of know what to do, did he, unfortunately? Then at last, the strikers finished from forward, and after about 3 attempts, he finally got one right, didn't he? We know, and this is what a midfielder does. He's not going to score 4 out of 4. He might get 1 out of 4, and that's exactly what Foden did on 69 minutes from a nice assist from Jesus. But he did all the work forward and to score past Alisson, who I don't think was at any fault at all. I think he was quite rightly positioned. Foden just hit it inside the post. Superb finish from Foden, and say about time, and I'm glad he did it. 73 minutes. This is when ref Tierney sort of blemished his copybook. He'd had an okay game, Tierney. I thought he played quite well the first 70 minutes. Well, 73 minutes he bottled it, didn't he? I think he should be thrown out of the referees' union. Milner, a blatant foul on Bernardo. He'd already been booked, and it was a bookable offence, no doubt about it, but Tierney bottled it and didn't give it. Simple as that. Pep raged, got booked for it. He got booked for raging, but Paul Tierney, you're a coward. That was he bottled it, let's be honest about it. But there you go. Within 3 minutes, Jesus had won a perfectly good tackle and Tierney had awarded it to Liverpool. So perhaps the old worm had turned there, Mr. Tierney. He wasn't doing us any favours. But did Liverpool need any favours? You don't really need favours when you've got a guy like Salah who can, let's face it, he's a quality diver. I don't like his diving, but hey, he is a fantastic player. And that goal by Salah he kept selling dummies and leaving City defenders and midfielders all over the place, and it was an immaculate finish. I think we'll look at Stuart Brennan's report, and he thought Ederson could have done better, but in the same way Alisson couldn't stop Foden's, I don't think he could have done that much. Yeah, all right. If he'd stuck his arm off a bit sooner, but Salah was leaf. Salah is Aguero from that sort of angle. You always bet on Aguero getting a goal, don't you? You can always bet on Salah doing it. It's certainly hitting the target, and if the goalkeeper can't react quick enough, it's in the net. So there you go. I must admit, I was a bit down at 2-1. I thought we've got to keep it, because we could have collapsed, but we didn't. All credit to City. We kept going. I mean, Liverpool tails were up, the fans were up, they were singing at last. But it was also meant there was more room for Liverpool, as City sort of thought, we've got to get back in this game. But it worked for City. We got more room as well as Liverpool. Obviously, the legs started to go, didn't they, of both teams, to be honest with you. And it was Foden build-up, wasn't it? And obviously KDB had not been having the greatest game. And what do I always say? If you're going to shoot on target, anything could happen. It get a deflection into the goal. It could sort of just, make the goalie make a mistake. And KDB did exactly what I wanted him to do. He got a shot on target. Sterling, to all his credit, although he didn't do much when he came on, was literally ducking down to make sure he wasn't interfering with the sight of Alisson. And it took a great, wicked deflection, didn't it, off the defender, and it was in the goal. That's all we ever ask. Just get your shots on targets. You're midfielders, you're not strikers, but please just do that. And we've got a chance of scoring, and we did. So there we go. It's 2-2. The old Brazilian number one didn't have any chance to. I think he had it covered, the original shot, but once he took that deflection, he had no chance. I think both teams were out on the feet by then, but we did still have time to witness another miracle, didn't we? Another piece of magic, unbelievable. Ederson totally. There's a free kick played back across, played back by Liverpool, and the cross that came in, Ederson just came for it. He was never going to get it in a million years. All he did, I think, was knock Ruben Diaz over, and the ball just fell for Fabinho at the back post. I was going to swear then. Thankfully, it was Fabinho. It wasn't Mane or Salah in that position, or any other player probably, because Fabinho just picked his spot, didn't he? He just sort of controlled it, excellently controlled it. But it seemed to be like time stood still, certainly for us City fans and probably the Liverpool fans as well, as he lined up his shot into an empty net from 6 yards. And who came in it but a guy who'd probably ghosted for most of the game. I didn't really notice him, but he ghosted back into that 6 yard box to block it. Of course, Rodri, a miracle block from Rodri, unbelievable. I mean, I'll forgive him. I thought he had a pretty bang average, if not great game, to be honest with you. But I forgive him everything for that save of the century, which it was. So it's 2 or 3 pieces of magic in this game by anyone's accounts of football now or whenever. Of course, with time running out, I think Jesus had a fantastic shot. He had a screamer, yeah, but it was blocked, and there was no way Alisson was getting to it either. But in that case, the block went out for a corner, I think, and we didn't get the goal. That was 91 minutes. With both teams absolutely shattered, I think, by that stage, psychologically, mentally, and physically. It ended 2-2, satisfactorily for us, but what could have been perhaps, but we can't be fussy, can we? It was a good to get a draw at Anfield is a good result under these circumstances. Some of the key stats booked for Liverpool was Milner, should have been sent off, Fabinho and Jota, and booked for City was Diaz, Silva and Cancelo. And of course Pep, I think, got booked as well. He wasn't sent off, but I think he's been sent off against Liverpool before, hasn't he? He's got previous. Shots 6 by Liverpool, of which 4 were on target. There's the difference, City. Shots by City 12 with 3 on target. There you go. That just about sums it up in one game, doesn't it? What our problems may be this season, but hey, we'll not bang on about it, as long as we get results like this. 48% possession for Liverpool, so we mastered possession. But the pass rates were low. City's usually in the high 80s, early 90s. Both teams did an 83% pass accuracy. So, yeah, both teams obviously felt the pressure of the game, I think. On to the ratings, right? First of all, Mr. Stuart Brennan, I'll give you his description. I'm going to give it my standard score today is 7. So any City players doing better get higher. Any City player doing worse get lower. And if they did an okay game and played standard, they'll get a 7. So here we go. Let's shoot through them, and I'll give you my little comments after Stuart Brennan. Right, Ederson, Stuart says, had been unflappable on the day, but there had to be question marks about Salah's shot flying past him. So he'll give him a 6. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to particularly blame him for the goal. Obviously, I'll blame him for that cross. At the end of the day, that could have led to defeat. And it's a shame because he played quite well, distribution-wise and everything. He knew when he was coming out correctly. He came out for a header within about 2 minutes, and he had plenty of time to do it, and was quite the right thing to do. But yeah, just that last 20 minutes, it sort of ruined it for him. So I'd have to agree with Stuart. I'd have to give him a 6 as well. So a 6 from Stuart and a 6 from me. Say that it's just shocking, and we were lucky Rodri was there, of course. Walker, Stuart says, kept Mane quiet to the point that he tried his luck on the other side. He did and scored. Yes, but yeah, that's the thing, isn't it? And unfortunately, we didn't have someone over the other side as good as Walker, did we? So let's give Walker a 7. Yeah, I'll give him a 7. I thought it was good and solid. Certainly wasn't to blame for the goals, I don't think it anyway. He perhaps could have done a little bit better going up, but yeah, nothing wrong with Walker's performance. Diaz, Stuart says, produced several fine interceptions and blocks and didn't deserve to be on the losing side. He didn't, and he wasn't, Stuart. You probably wrote that before the final whistle, I think, by the looks of it. He wasn't on the losing side, Stuart. No, we drew, mate. So there you go. So he's given him an 8. I'll give him an 8 as well. He wasn't masterful, but I know what Stuart means. I'm only having a play, only playing around. He wasn't masterful by any means, but he was good enough. A good solid 8 out of 10 from me, and 8 out of 10 from Stuart. He knows that. Stuart listens to this. I know he knows I'm only messing. Laporte, he lost Mane for the first goal and tied in knots, says Stuart, for Salah's superb winner. He was. Although a lot of people would be like that, wouldn't they? From Salah, after previously looking so secure. Yeah, he did start very well. Stuart's given him a 6. I think there's a lot of good stuff, but as I say, that second half, he was found a little wanting. He wasn't alone, of course, but so I'm going to give him a 6.5, just below the average, but not the greatest. But as I say, it's such a shame. But again, against Salah in that position and Mane even, it is difficult. You can't always keep tabs on them, can you? Cancelo. Stuart said great going forward in the first half, but was repeatedly exposed in the second by Mane and Salah. Again, similar to Laporta. Yes, he certainly was. Stuart's given him a 6. I thought it was a very mixed bag from Cancelo. Even in the first half when he played quite well. For everything good, a good pass or an interception, or it was sort of balanced out by a bad pass or a lack of involvement or not in the right position at crucial periods, certainly. And certainly in that second half where the danger came down our left, he sort of was missing. So I will give him a 6, but I say that's a point below average, isn't it? But I don't think Cancelo was that great today, to be honest with you. He was exposed by quality players, unfortunately. Rodri, interesting one. Stuart said gave City control for long spells, and his incredible late block on Fabinho was outstanding. So he's given him an 8. Yeah. Until that block, as I said, I thought he ghosted. I thought he passed him by a little bit the game. As I said, I do try and keep a special lookout for Rodri, but you can't miss it, can you? But I didn't think he was that good. But I will give him a 7.5 purely because of that world-class, fantastic miracle of a save he did from Fabinho. So, yeah, I will give him more than the average. Bernardo, here we go. Stuart says his dazzling first half run was a highlight of the game. It was a highlight of the world, the universe of football, I think. And he put an incredible shift in for the third time in a week. Absolutely amazing. That Duracell battery still running strong, isn't it? Stuart's given him an 8. I think you mean, Stuart. I thought it was a brilliant display. He never stops. Not everything works, especially when he's trying to get back. There's some of his tackling, which he's not there to tackle, really, is it? He was perhaps caught on the wrong side a couple of times, but everything else going forward was immense. As I said, he would have probably got near my 10 out of 10 Aguero moment rating if that assist had come off in the first half. But I'm going to give him a 9. I thought he was absolutely brilliant. Again, Bernardo, unbelievable. Words, I'm lost. KDB, much of his passing was alright, says Stuart, and his diving header was almost funny. Yeah, it wasn't very good. But when it mattered, he popped up with a goal. He did, and this is why Stuart's given him a 7, but I've given him a 7.5, because yes, he was far from his best again. And he sort of grew more into the game, and I think as people tired, he was tired himself, but his ability sort of came to the fore a little bit more. And as I said, he got that eventual, right, he didn't get the header on target, but he got that shot on target, and I say that led to the goal. So for me, I'm going to give him a 7.5 because of that. Although, as I said, he's got a long way to go to KDB. He'll need a rest. I know he won't have rest because he'll be playing for Belgium, will he? But he still needs a little bit of time. He's struggling just a little bit. Jesus, Stuart said, do superbly set up Foden's equaliser and stretch Liverpool while negating Robertson's playmaking threat. Yeah, Stuart's given him an 8. Very kind of Stuart. I've given him a 7.5. I thought it was a tireless, whingy, annoying sort of game for Jesus, and that's exactly what we want of him. Don't change, mate. That's exactly what we want. They want him to annoy the opposition and have a groan and moan and put himself about. That's what we like to see. So I'm happy with that. I won't go as mad as Stuart with an 8, but I will give him a 7.5. Foden, Stuart said, utterly destroyed Milner. He did, but I thought Milner played quite well overall, apart from he should have been sent off, but that's not his fault. He didn't get sent off, is it? I thought Milner was probably, apart from Salah, Liverpool's man of the match, to be honest with you. Anyway, we're talking about Foden. Utterly destroyed Milner, sort of. Should have had a penalty. Yep. Scored one and set up De Bruyne's I think that penalty was just outside the box, mate. So I don't think it would have been a penalty anyway, but it was definitely a foul. Set up De Bruyne's equaliser. Stuart's given him a 9. Well, what can I say? I'm going to give like Bernardo. I thought he was our best player on the pitch alongside Bernardo. I give him a 9. His class, not everything works again. Obviously, his finishing was a bit iffy. But as I said, he's a midfielder. If he can finish 1 out of 3 and 4, I think that's all we can ask from midfielders. And that's exactly what he did. He still plugged away and he still got the chance to score that goal, and he did it. And he was a constant threat to Liverpool. I mean, if Phil Foden is fit, I'm sorry, he should be the first name on the team sheet. That's why I thought he should have played against PSG in midweek. If he's fit enough to be on the bench, he should be in that team. He's one of the guys that must always play for City if he is fit enough to do so, in my opinion. So, yes, we both give him a 9 anyway, me and Stuart. Grealish, yeah, Stuart said, asked to play as centrally as a sacrifice. He did. I mean, trouble is, by doing this, we're losing a player every time, aren't we? As I say, it just seems a little odd sometimes. We can't play tactics where, why couldn't Torres have played there? I wouldn't have picked Torres before the game, but in that position where he played, I thought Grealish was going to play on his normal on the wing, but he sort of played a bit on the wing, but then, as I said, came inside as well. He got a little change out of Liverpool. Central pair, says Stuart. Quite right. He was just not at it today. Let's be honest about it. Not particularly his fault. We didn't play to his strengths, but no, he passed him by a little bit in the same way it passed Rodri by until he made that world-saving stop at the end. Stuart's given him a 6. Yeah, I'm going to have to give him a 6. Probably his worst, least ineffective display I've seen. It wasn't great against PSG either, so that's a couple of games. Perhaps he needs a rest now. And just one sub-use, wasn't it? Yeah, we may as well just play with 10 men, to be honest with you, no offence, Mr. Grealish and Sterling, but he came on for Sterling on 65 minutes. Sterling came on for Grealish on 65 minutes. Can't tell them apart. Couldn't get in the game. Stuart's given him a 6. I'm not going to mark him. He was on less than half an hour or so. And he did find himself in a couple of great positions, but no surprise, he didn't really know how to finish it off. Man of the match, I think you've gauged it, haven't you? I'm going to give a joint one today. I think for Liverpool, I would give joint ones between Salah and Milner for Liverpool, but we're not talking Liverpool. For City, it's got to be Foden and Bernardo, of course. I'll call it a tie for them too. I think both were brilliant, not for the first time this season. They're sort of outstanding players on the day. Our overall record now reads, played 86 at Liverpool. We've won 4. This is the league. Won 14, drawn 20 and lost 52. We scored 108 and let 178 in. Going forward, Liverpool, briefly. Don't want to be banging on too long on this exciting day. I know you've all enjoyed that match today, and you want to watch as many of these vlogs as you can, so I don't want mine to go on too long. Liverpool aren't going anywhere, are they? In a good way. I mean, not in a bad way. They'll push City and anyone else who happens to be up there, whether it's Chelsea or Brighton, all season. And that'll be the case as long as they can keep their best 13 or 14 players. The squad depth isn't fantastic. Lose 2 or 3 key players, and they will fade like they sort of did last season, though they never really got going last season because they got injuries early. But they will fade. But with 4 excellent strikers on the books, they can perhaps afford to lose 1 or 2 of them, can't they? Because they still have more in hand. But with those 4 excellent strikers still fully fit, or even if 3 of them are fully fit, there's always a chance for Liverpool this season. Whatever happens with the squad size, etc. I think they'll do okay. I thought they played okay today. I thought City were the better team, and I thought Klopp was a little bit unhappy the first half. Perhaps they weren't doing what they were told, but obviously, you say if you're playing a quality team like City, perhaps you can't quite do what you'd normally do against some of the so-called lesser teams. But there's a chance. I think Liverpool will be certainly top 2 or 3. I don't think they'll be struggling, as I say, as long as they keep all the players fit. And City going forward, as I said, it was interesting, wasn't it? Same team that played against Chelsea, slightly different tactics today. Pep had to give them a bit of a G-up, I think, after about 15, 20 minutes because they were dropping too far back, and it sort of worked. We played a far better, perhaps not as well the second half, I don't think, but we responded well, didn't we, to when we went behind, and that's not always easy at Anfield, let's be honest about it. I like the way we won the toss as well and made them kick towards a cop, the magnificent cop in that first half. I think that's what you have to do. You have to upset them. They don't like playing that way. No matter what level of football you play at, you have favourite ends to play, and obviously we know at City we like playing towards a family stand for some reason the second half, even though we don't like it in the south stand. But that was where obviously that helped. I think that helped City, although obviously they scored both goals at the other end. But no, I think that was a good plan by City. And of course, tactically, I thought we played all right. Not every player was at it. Of course, Grealish and Rodri. Apart from that block, which I forgive him everything, don't forget, we're not quite at it, so we weren't playing with a full hand, if you like. I thought the Liverpool players generally were okay, even their so-called weaker links, Milner fitting in at right back, had a tremendous game, as I've said. But this City team, despite everything, is setting that benchmark again, isn't it? I did sort of laugh jokingly and make a little comment on Twitter that we had a half-decent striker or someone like Salah, for instance, would win every cup. Would win the Carabao Cup, would win the FA Cup, would win the league, of course, would win the Champions League, would win the Super Cup, and if it were possible, we'd probably win the World and Galactic Cups as well. But we haven't, have we? It is what it is, and without a striker, perhaps we'll only do another double of some sort. But just a matter, perhaps a treble. Let's push it to a treble. Let's be bold. So let's. So without that striker, hey, with a striker, who knows? The world is our lobster, as you say, isn't it? But yeah, excellent game. International break now, guys, so we can all recover from that. As I say, it was quite good on the old ticker, that match today. But there'll be plenty of City stuff on the Citizen channel. Don't forget, there'll be, of course, so make sure that notifications button pressed. I don't take a rest, as you know, even in the close season. There was vlogs out every day for you City fans. I love doing them, and I'm glad when you join me, and all your comments and your support is most welcome. And of course, there'll be new ones. There'll be a matchday programme watches for, of course, the Chelsea and Liverpool games. I think the Leicester one's got to go out yet as well. There'll be new now got features, lots of City history stuff, dream debuts, you name it. We'll have it over the international break. And of course, a new One City show. Of course, we'll have one of them. We'll have one of them as well. And we'll look at everything to do with City as far as the fans are concerned, and on social media, etc., etc. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. Let me know in the comments what you thought, your man of the match, etc., etc. So yeah, not a bad day. Could have been worse, couldn't it? Could have been better. Don't get me wrong. Could have been better. Certainly after that first half, we were a bit disappointed not to be 0-0, but it could have been a lot worse. Anyway, thanks for watching, guys. What are we going to do the rest of the day? Have a great one. Look after yourselves, look after your friends, look after your families, more importantly. Let's all look after each other. Till we meet here again on the Citizen channel over the next couple of weeks. Don't ever get bored when I'm about. Please. Oh, a little tribute before I go, please. Don't forget, Seek, have a little tribute, of course, to Freddie Hill, who recently passed away. So I've done that as well. So it'll be in the link. So please check it out. It's a little small tribute to Freddie Hill, who sadly passed away 2 or 3 days ago as I'm recording this. So don't forget that as well. But please, until we meet here again, or perhaps have a look at my film and TV stuff as well. I say, plenty of time over the next couple of weeks. Have a look at that. Try and inform and entertain on there. Well, all I ask you to do is please stay safe, Blues. Come on, City. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.